10 years after Kosovo declared independence from Serbia, there has been little progress between the two countries in resolving their disagreements. Serbia, along with some other nations, does not recognize Kosovo's statehood, though major Western powers do. Now the leaders of both countries are suggesting a deal to withdraw their borders will lead to a breakthrough. But some experts warn the move could open a Pandora's box of problems.
It would create instability, it would be dangerous, it could spark violence in Kosovo as well as Serbia.
The swap would involve Serbia getting part of northern Kosovo, an area with a mostly Serb population, and Kosovo getting Serbia's Preševo Valley, inhabited by a majority of ethnic Albanians. The change would be along ethnic lines, an anathema to the U.S. and the EU.
The principle of pluralism and democracy is something that is a cornerstone of U.S. policy. It's also a cornerstone of Europe's approach to countries that aspire to membership.
But European history is one of border changes and population movements, according to David Kanan, a former CIA senior analyst now teaching at Johns Hopkins University.
So it's really about the West and its policies, the West and its sense of privilege in the region, the West and its own insecurities about its own problems and its own paradigms. I think the pathology around that stunts the discussion.
While the European Union has not openly commented on this issue, German Chancellor Angela Merkel has rejected any changes to borders, saying that the territorial integrity of the Western Balkan states is unviolable. But the U.S. position has been more ambiguous. In a statement to VOA, the State Department said the solution should come from the parties themselves and urged them to show flexibility. Kurt Volker, U.S. Special Representative for Ukraine negotiations, is a former U.S. ambassador to NATO.
If Serbia and Kosovo were able to agree on a settlement that would allow for permanent peace, that would allow for mutual recognition, then I think that would help settle politics in Serbia in some ways. It would be very important. It would give Kosovo a way forward.
Columbia University's David Phillips disagrees.
So the U.S. government doesn't have a coherent policy towards Kosovo. It doesn't pay any attention to the Western Balkans. I don't think we should read too much into these vague and ambiguous statements. Right now, U.S. policy remains as it always has been. It recognized Kosovo within its current frontiers. That hasn't changed.
Even if the idea is officially included in the EU-mediated Kosovo-Serbia dialogue, many questions remain, including whether Serbia should recognize Kosovo first, what ramifications such a move would have for other countries of the region, and how internal domestic opposition within both countries would play out in the process. Keida, Kostreci, VOA News, Washington.